Jack Schiffman. I'm a member of the West Rogers Park Community Organization, and I'd like to welcome you to our Candidates Forum for the 50th Ward. We'd like to thank the Organization of the Northeast for co-sponsoring the forum, and we'd also like to thank Tom Clark of the Community Media Workshop for agreeing to moderate this event. Before describing the rules of the event itself, I want to give you a little background about the West Rogers Park Community Organization. We are your friends and neighbors in the greater West Rogers Park, West Ridge area. Our love for this neighborhood has inspired us to come together as a group in the summer of 2005. And at that time, we identified a number of issues that we wanted to address for the benefit of the community. First, we wanted to establish a community planning board to oversee development in the neighborhood. Second, we wanted to enhance educational opportunities in the neighborhood at both the primary and secondary level and in both public and private schools. Third, we wanted to see more programs and activities established for the youths of the neighborhood. And fourth, we wanted to assure that affordable housing would remain available in the neighborhood. Over the past year, we have worked vigorously to pursue these goals. In the winter of 2006, when the city announced the creation of the TUI Western TIF, we spearheaded the creation of a TIF advisory board that would give citizens a say in the expenditure of TIF monies. Following our lead, the alderman created a 19-member board of community residents in November of 2006, including 11 people nominated by our organization. In the spring of 2006, we sponsored a youth basketball tournament that brought together students and parents from the local public and private schools. 8 teams participated in a series of games held at Warren Park over several nights and enjoyed by hundreds of residents. We are currently trying to bring together the principals of these public and private schools so as to better address the educational needs of the community. In the summer and fall of 2006, we organized a successful petition drive to place a referendum on November's ballot, calling for the creation of a community planning board in the neighborhood. On November 7th, almost 8,000 people, nearly 90% of the voters, approved this referendum. And today, in the interest of further addressing these important issues and further benefiting the neighborhood, we are bringing you this Candidates Forum. We would like to thank Solomon Oftab, Greg Brewer, and Nazy Doler for agreeing to participate. We made every reasonable attempt to include Alderman Stone, but he ultimately decided not to attend. The format for the forum is based on one provided by the Minnesota Participation Project, a nonpartisan, not-for-profit group concerned with enhancing voter education and voter turnout. We have met with the candidates repeatedly in order to modify these rules to everyone's liking. According to the mutually agreed upon rules, we have provided the candidates with a written list of 8 questions which they have had a week to review. From this list, we will tonight select 4 questions. The candidates do not know which questions we will select, and they are not allowed to speak from prepared texts. After they have answered these questions, we will choose at least 2 written questions from the audience, and we will follow these up with a series of yes-no questions to which the candidate will respond yes, no, or I decline to answer. The forum will begin with 2-minute opening statements from each candidate, taken in the order in which they appear on the ballot, and after that we will begin rotating who speaks first. The candidates will then have 2 minutes to answer the pre-prepared questions and 2 minutes for the audience questions. After the yes-no questions, the candidates will each have 1 minute for closing remarks. We have a very full agenda, so I ask you, out of respect for all the candidates, please withhold your applause until the end of the event, and please refrain from calling out or otherwise trying to engage the candidates. We will be keeping them busy enough. And now I give you our moderator, Tom Clark. Tom is the co-founder and president of the Community Media Workshop, which is dedicated to training nonprofit organizations in the use of the media. The Community Media Workshop is located at Columbia College, where Tom also teaches in the Department of Journalism.
Thank you all for turning out on a cold night, missing an episode of Lost. But I suspect this community won't be lost with this kind of community engagement, and I think the candidates all appreciate your taking this kind of time. Without further ado, because you're not here to listen to me, Nazy, would you like to open?
Sure. Thank you so much for giving me the opportunity to be here tonight. All across the city, we keep hearing it's time for a change. Well, although I happen to agree with this, to have a newer and better city council, we need more than that. We need more than just a change in the 50th Ward, because the 50th Ward has already changed. The only question is, what type of leadership will reflect this? All of us here share a commitment of the people to the people of the city of Chicago. However, I'm running because it's time that we expect more for our ward, and I believe all of us want more for our city. I have the credentials and the experience to make City Hall work for us. I have dedicated nearly all my life in public service, and that's not just what defines me. More than anything, what I truly have is a devotion and commitment to this neighborhood and this community. I grew up here. I went to school here, and now I'm raising my 2 young sons here in the same house that I grew up in. This experience really has shaped my worldview, and this is really why I have this framework of being a good mother and one that's an active member in this community. Bernie Stone represents business as usual. He represents the old guard. I would never take the votes for granted, and I would never miss any opportunity to talk with you. So thank you so much, and I really look forward to talking about the issues today.
Thank you. Solomon?
My name is Sal Aftab, and I'm a businessman, a family man, and a neighbor. I have a master's degree in computer science from Roosevelt University. I'm a husband and a father. I'm a founder of an IT firm in Chicago, and I have a proven track record of providing high-quality services to my clients. And that's the same level of services that I will deliver to the residents of the 50th Ward. I am a community leader who has worked with numerous civic organizations that serve the community of the 50th Ward. I am running for an alderman because I believe that the quality of life index is declining in the 50th Ward. Property taxes are skyrocketing, ward services are declining, crime is rising, and corruption in city government is widespread. We have an alderman in the 50th Ward who is, instead of working on lowering property taxes, increasing the quality of ward services, working with the local communities and police to lower the crime rate, and working to tackle corruption in the city government, has spent the last 4 years of his aldermanic term pushing through a $20,000 pay increase for himself. While the youth of the 50th Ward cannot find fundings for after-school programs, Alderman Stone is making financial contributions to the convicted felon, and his name is Soros, you all know, and saying that he's a good guy. That's quote unquote. Just like he said a few weeks ago that Alderman Troutman is a good girl. So I'm the only candidate in this race that has made reform the central theme of my campaign. Reform of the property taxes system, reform by opposing a $20,000 aldermanic pay raise,
Thank you.
Reform the zoning process in the 50th Ward, Aldermanic Zone Advisory Board, that's what I want to make it, and reform a broken educational system. Thank you.
Thank you. Greg, your opening statement.
Good evening. My name is Greg Brewer,
Thank you all for coming tonight. I know you're all here because you care about the future of the 50th Ward. It's a wonderfully diverse place and a great place to live, but today our community suffers from neglect and a lack of vision and a lack of leadership. After 34 years, it's time for a change. This is the third candidate forum I've participated in, and the third forum Bernie Stone has chosen to ignore. Obviously, Bernie Stone doesn't care what you think. If he won't show up and be accountable when he wants your vote, when will he be accountable? I'm running for alderman to bring change, inclusiveness, and accountability to the 50th Ward. We deserve open, honest, professional leadership. We deserve respect from our elected officials, and we deserve an alderman who will listen, who will understand, and who can get the job done. Over the last 20 years, I've worked as an architect, planner, and project manager. I've worked with some of the best firms in the country, and I've had the opportunity to design, plan, and manage a diverse range of projects around the world, from Taiwan to Taylor Street. During my career, I've learned about building sustainable communities, how planning can preserve neighborhoods, and how effectively managing the complex and sometimes conflicting needs of a diverse constituency can benefit everyone involved. I'm running for alderman to bring a new vision to our community. I hope to share that vision with you this evening, and I hope to have your support and your vote. Thank you.
Thank you. We will now go to several questions the candidates have seen ahead of time. We hope that they will respond in an extemporaneous way. First question is regarding safety. In 2004, the 50th Ward had the highest number of hate crimes of any ward in the city. The ward has a history of violent assaults. Residents have complained of robberies, prostitution, break-ins, and sightings of drug dealers. Street lighting in some precincts is insufficient. Despite programs such as CAPS, enhanced patrols, monitoring major thoroughfares, and speed deterrents, many residents perceive that safety has deteriorated. Safety is a basic need. One must feel free to walk in one's neighborhood and speak with one's neighbors. Starting with Mr. Aftab, what would you do as alderman to enhance safety in the ward? If you do not agree with the background premise, please explain why.
I certainly do agree with the background premise. Crime in this ward is on the rise. I have a volunteer in my campaign, Courtney, whose husband was assaulted and stabbed in broad daylight at the carnival in Warren Park a couple of months ago. Another lady on Divan, her name is Rizwana, was robbed in front of her house and now fears walking down her own street. It is these horror stories which prompted me to run for alderman, because I do not want to live in a community in which people are made prisoners in their own homes because of the fear. I believe if we had a proactive alderman in the 50th Ward who would work to increase community involvement, demand more police patrol, and increase the number of beat officers, then 50th Ward would be a safer place to live. Alderman Aftab would be more proactive and would meet with the police commander to ensure more police presence in all areas of the ward and greater foot patrol in high crime areas. Additionally, I would hold monthly crime meetings open to the public with the police commanders in our ward. I would have minority liaison in the police department. I will have culturally sensitivity training to the police officers, and definitely this one thing I want to do first and foremost, increase the pay for the policemen, not only the policemen, the firefighters and teachers as well, and decrease the pay for aldermen. Thank you.
Thank you. Mr. Brewer.
Well, first we need an alderman who actually cares. We need an alderman who will do something as basic as showing up at CAPS meetings. Alderman Stone doesn't believe politicians belong in CAP meetings. Well, I think he's dead wrong. But public safety is about more than the police and CAPS. It's also about having streetlights that work and enforcing tenants' rights and building requirements against bad landlords who don't maintain their buildings and don't screen their tenants. It's about taking the money that's available for street improvements and park improvements and having safe places where children can play and parks that we can use. The Neighborhood Capital Budget Group ranks the 50th Ward dead last in tax money coming back to the ward for infrastructure improvements. We're not getting our tax money back, money that could pay for safety improvements, because Stone isn't doing his job, isn't bringing that back to us, isn't advocating for us. There are blocks south of Devon and east of Western where neighbors have been begging for speed bumps for 3 years. Simple traffic safety issue. But they get no response from the alderman's office. Stone this year told the Sun-Times that he was turning down $1.3 million in mayoral menu funds for the ward. That's our money, but instead of providing the improvements we need to make the community safer, Bernie Stone is leaving money on the table. How's that good for the 50th? We must do better, and I will do better.
Thank you. Please hold your applause. Ms. Stolar.
In 1999, when Benjamin Smith went on a shooting spree and injured 4 Jewish residents in the area, there were members of the community that tried to institute an interfaith alliance, but unfortunately it folded. I believe a responsible alderman would find a way to promote these alliances and be responsive, but all Bernie Stone did was attend the vigil. When I served as the director at the Chicago Commission on Human Relations, I addressed hate crimes in 3 ways. One is, I developed a multilingual hate crime education brochure that was distributed throughout the whole entire city to inform people about hate crimes, as well as resources and guidelines on what to do. I also sat on the Superintendent's Multicultural Forum in partnership with the police department, and I spoke at several hate crime forums, one of which was at the Indo-American Center here in this ward. I also did a police training video where I was featured to help train the Chicago Police Department on understanding ethnic communities. The aldermen should work with the community to push safety programs and advocate for resources from the superintendent's office. It's about manpower. We need more manpower, and we need to go through these channels to get our needs met. The aldermen should also advocate for special operation units like gang units as well as prostitution prevention units to come into this district. I believe it's the alderman's responsibility to reach out and promote CAPS with the CAPS for the police department. We can't just simply